Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos congratulates His Excellency President Dr. Hassan Rouhani of Iran on winning a second presidential term. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayyid arrives in Riyadh to take part in the 17th GCC Consultative Summit of Their Majesties and Highnesses the leaders. And the Sultanate achieved success in the field of health and medical services as per Global Index for Healthcare. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Dr. Hassan Rouhani of Iran on him being re-elected as president for a second presidential term. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayyid, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, arrived this afternoon in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to take part in the 17th Consultative Summit of the Majesties and Highnesses the leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries, which aims at enhancing the Gulf issues of common concern and attending the 3rd GCC-US Summit and the Arab-Islamic-US Summit. His Highness was accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdul, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al Shabibi, Minister of Housing, His Excellency Mohammed bin Salam Al Tubi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs, and a number of officials at the government. Earlier, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayyid, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, left the Sultanate heading to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to take part in the 17th Consultative Summit of Their Majesties and Highnesses, the leaders of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, and attending the 3rd GCC-US Summit and the Arab-Islamic-US Summit on behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. He was seen off upon departure by His Excellency Sheikh Al-Fadal bin Mohammed Al-Harthi, Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Futaizi, Minister of Transport and Communications, His Excellency Sayyid Saad bin Halal Al-Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Muscat, His Excellency Dr. Fawad bin Jafar Al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, and His Excellency Dr. Abdul Munam bin Mansur Lesani, Minister of Information, and the Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has completed all preparations for hosting 3 summits: the Consultative Summit for the leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the Gulf-US Summit, and the Arab-Islamic-American Summit. The Consultation Council came to discuss ways to strengthen joint GCC work. The 3rd Gulf-US Summit will be attended by His Excellency Donald Trump, President of the United States, in his first foreign trip since assuming power. The Arab-Islamic-American Summit will gather leaders of the Arab world and Islamic worlds with the US leadership. Stemming from the Sultanate's keenness to support the GCC march and endeavors aiming at serving Arab and Islamic causes, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayyid, the Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, arrived with an official delegation in Riyadh. They will take part in the Consultative Summit on behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and the attendants of the other 2 summits. GCC, Arab and Islamic delegations started to arrive in Riyadh aim great aspirations that such meetings will crystallize a vision that helps to address the latest developments in the region and to establish security and stability, and will also support tracks of economic and social development, aiming at achieving progress and prosperity for the countries and the people of the region. The 3 summits will review security issues in the region and coordinate international efforts to combat terrorism and extremism, in addition to deal with latest developments in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and the Palestinian cause. The Arab-Islamic-American Summit also aims to establish a dialogue and fruitful and active partnerships for the mutual understanding that promotes value of tolerance, moderation, cooperation, and coexistence. The custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, met with the American President Donald Trump, who arrived in Riyadh today in his first foreign tour since assuming the presidency of the United States last January. The talks dealt with a number of topics and regional and international developments in addition to Saudi-American relations. The meeting of the Saudi monarch with the U.S. president preceded the Gulf Consultative Summit, the Gulf American Summit and the Arab Islamic American Summit, being hosted by Riyadh. The Sultanate achieved a big success in the field of health and medical services as per the Global Index for Healthcare. A study conducted and supervised by Dr. Christopher Murray from the University of Washington in the American state of Seattle and published by Lancet magazine stressed the Sultanate's progress made in reducing most diseases, especially those related to lower respiratory infections. The study showed that the number of points achieved by the Sultanate on the index increased by 11 points from the period from 1999 to 2015. The Sultanate occupied 53rd globally on the index, which included 167 countries, achieving 77 points. The study stated that in the field of limiting most diseases, especially lower respiratory infections, the Sultanate achieved rates ranging from 92 to 100% in the treatment of diphtheria, tetanus and maternal disorders, and measles, in addition to achieving advanced rates in reducing, combating and treating other diseases. Sohar municipality achieved more than 70% of the works of Alwar Tarif dual road project in the Wilayah of Sohar. It is expected to be completed in August this year. The project includes the construction of 2 lanes on both directions, quad junction and pedestrian paths at the new road. The works also cover transferring a wadi pathway to culverts that will contribute to facilitating the overflow of the wadi without halting the traffic movement during the rainfall. Still to come in our news bulletin. A ceremony is held in the Governorate of Worcester to honour the excelled school students. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Iran's moderate president Hassan Rouhani was re-elected for a second term after going head-to-head with hardline cleric Ibrahim Raisi, after spending his first term trying to pull the country out of its global isolation, reaching a 2015 deal with world powers that ended some sanctions in exchange for curbs to its nuclear program. More details in the following report.
4 more years for moderate Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. Voters have re-elected the 68-year-old cleric who presented himself as the candidate for change and social freedoms during his campaign. His first term saw a groundbreaking 2015 deal with world powers that ended many sanctions and a 13-year standoff over Iran's nuclear program. But his critics say he oversold the economic benefits of the deal, and despite taming inflation, his popularity has been dented by continued stagnation and high unemployment.
People, I have kept the promises that I made to you 4 years ago. And if I didn't finish some of them, it's because I was prevented from keeping them.
Rouhani has vowed to end remaining sanctions and to continue trying to rebuild ties with the West, also calling for more time to tackle the ongoing economic slump, which is taking a toll on the country's morale.
United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, ended 4 days of Syria talks yesterday, saying there had been incremental progress. De Mistura said he plans to reconvene negotiations in June, but the warring sides still show no sign of wanting to be in the same room, let alone on the same page in terms of negotiating Syria's political future. The Syrian peace talks, hosted by the United Nations in Geneva, saw the latest series of meetings with no aim to bring an end to the fighting. That objective has been taken up by parallel talks sponsored by Russia, Turkey and Iran, but they do aim to prepare the way for political reform in Syria if the 6-year-old war ends. Syrian state TV and opposition monitoring group are reporting that the final batch of opposition fighters and their families are leaving a besieged neighborhood in the central city of Homs. The evacuation from Alwar that started 2 months ago is expected to be completed today, bringing the city under full government control for the first time in more than 5 years. Homs Governor Talal Bazari said that once Alwar is free of rebels, Syria government forces will enter. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said 12,000 people were meant to be evacuated, but the figure has exceeded 20,000, as many fear that if they stay, their sons will be drafted into the army. It said Russian military police began entering parts of Alwar. Two car bombs in southwestern Baghdad killed 11 people, including 4 police officers, and wounded at least 20 last night. The first attack targeted a police checkpoint in the neighborhood, and moments later the second blast hit a nearby street crowded with civilians. The attack comes as Iraqi forces backed by the US-led coalition are slowly moving in on the last neighborhoods held by the Daesh group in Mosul, Iraq's second largest city. Coalition officials said they believe a few hundred Daesh fighters remain in Mosul, holding hundreds of thousands of civilians as human shields. Al-Wafa Center for the Disabled held a ceremony in the Governorate of Dhofar to conclude the rehabilitation program 2016 to 2017. The ceremony included artistic performances by the children and motivating speeches that stressed on the significance of taking care of this category in the society so as to contribute in development to the country. At the end, the children of Al-Wafa Center were honored. A ceremony was held in the Governorate of Worcester to honor the excellent school students. It witnessed a wide participation from officials, teachers, and members of the community. It aimed to motivate the students to exert more efforts to enhance their knowledge and skills in various fields through taking part in a number of competitions and activities. During the event, some traditional Omani arts were performed by the youth, and the participants were also entertained by the children's shows. At the end, various prizes were distributed to the excelled students. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the governorates of Dhofar. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be south to southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos congratulates His Excellency President Dr. Hassan Rouhani of Iran on winning a second presidential term. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayyid arrives in Riyadh to take part in the 17th GCC Consultative Summit of Their Majesties and Highnesses the leaders. And the Sultanate achieved success in the field of health and medical services as per Global Index for Healthcare. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsrooms and the studio, it's good night.